Hello, Rixes. Welcome to episode 12 of the WRIGS Podcast, the weekly reflection, introspection, gratitude, and sharing podcast. Let's just dive in. Unscripted week again. I don't know if I need to change the day I record or make some notes. I don't know. I can't seem to make notes as I'm going. So I'm gonna have to wing it again. But that's okay. I'm trying. Let's not beat myself up for that. And I don't know. Flows off the tongue. It's getting hard to be motivated to record. Once again, I was like, did not want to do it. But yeah, I know that in 20 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever long it takes me, I'll be feeling a lot better. So let's do it. I think maybe I need to change my recording day. Move to Wednesday or something. Yeah, we'll try that next week maybe. This week, what happened? Recorded last Monday, I think, so go straight into Tuesday, which was just a bit of coaching and training myself. I went back to work driving in the morning. It's been a little bit hard to wake up early to go back into that routine of 5 a.m. alarm and find the motivation. I managed to do it every day. I woke up and worked, so drove, which is good because I was really not motivated. So I guess kudos to me. Good points, good stuff. On Wednesday, did more driving, just had an appointment. I was feeling pretty good. I was getting a bit anxious about the that single event that I went to, that I was going to go to on the Thursday, but we were planning everything with my friend, and yeah, it was looking exciting. I was very anxious but also excited. So yeah, strange one. Wednesday, I also caught up with one of my good friends. We just had a lunch after training, and it was really very nice to catch up. I think we had not done it properly like this in a long time. Talk shit, talk seriously, bit of everything. I've sort of unofficially asked him if he would like to be my business partner for the future. Whenever I start my business in 18 months or whatever, this is kind of like the time frame that I gave myself. Ideally, not going to be too hard if it doesn't work out. But yeah, we exchanged ideas, etc. And he didn't say no. Obviously, it's hard to project, and it wasn't like he said, "Fuck yes" straight away for something that's in 18 months. But to me, the fact that he didn't say no it's a big win. I'll do it regardless. I'm gonna do my best to get to do that project, that dream that I have, to get to it, regardless of if people can come on board or not. But yeah, I was a bit intimidating at first, because it's like, fuck, what is he gonna say? Should I explain everything that I want to do first, or? But as the conversation was going, I think we ended up talking about what I wanted to do, and I explained what I wanted for my future gym, ideally. And that's when I took the opportunity to say, by the way, I would love if you could come on board. This is my official invitation for you to come on board. And yeah, as I said, he didn't say no, so that's good. Leave it with him, he said. We'll see. There's no rush. It's not like I'm expecting an answer tomorrow or whatever, even 6 months. He could tell me in a year time, he could tell me that will still be fine. So yeah, it just feels good to sort of like getting it out of my chest, because I've been thinking about it for a little while. So it was nice, and it was well received. But yeah, that was Wednesday. Did a bit more driving than in the afternoon, and that was it really. That was the day. But then Thursday, so the big event, probably the biggest thing in my week last week was me going to an event with my friend, with a friend, like a it's not a speed dating, but like a single event. So the way it works is this company just hired either the whole bar or an area of a bar. For this week it was in the suburb, not too far, and they had hired the top floor of this big pub, and they're just selling tickets. Don't know, depending on the size, it could be 100 or 100 to 300 people. And we were, so half male, half females. You get there between 6 and 7, and well, ideally 6 p.m. is when the doors open. And Bob the uncle, you just have to go and talk to people. Which sounds like, I don't know, it sounds a bit silly, but it was weird. I was meant to go with my friend, but in the morning of the event they bailed. They had to cancel because of conflicting schedule that they didn't realize. And I was like, oh God, do I want to go? Do I still go? Do I still want to go? Am I capable of going on my own, etc.? I did go on my own, knowing nobody, and I was so nervous, so uncomfortable. I got there at maybe 6:30. You meant to arrive between 6 and 7. I got there at 6:30, and I think by 6:43 I was on my second pint, a bit of liquid courage. And it was, I don't know, so intimidating. I felt so pressured because you're in a room where everybody is sort of like there to get to know people, but also just being on my own. There was a lot of people that were in groups, and I felt so not embarrassed, so out of place, so like, God, what am I doing? Confidence was at an all-time low. It was very strange. Not the event, what was going through my head. Like, I had my beard, and I was like, oh, maybe I should just leave. Who am I going to talk to? How do I go? Do I just go? Do I just say, oh, hello? I'm at, oh my God. All these questions were going through my mind. But eventually, I don't know, I was going back and forth in the room, and the more I was doing this, the more I realized that it was making me look very weird, like very unconfident, very insecure, which I was, but ideally it's not what you want to put out there, right? I was going back and forth trying to find, I don't know, the perfect timing or the perfect people to talk to. I think deep inside of me, I was trying to make judgment as well, just on how people look, which is not judgment, but make a choice. Like, are you worthy of my time if I don't find you attractive? Which is not the right approach. But yeah, eventually I saw a group. There was 2 girls and 1 guy. One of the girls was really cute, and I thought, if I join, at least it'd be 2 guys and 2 girls. So I don't know. It seemed like a good setup to go and talk to strangers. I just went and say hello. Sorry to interrupt. I'm hoping I can crack the conversation, and I'm Matt, and just started talking. And then from there, it was quite. It felt okay. the girls were lovely, and the dude was really nice too. I did feel a bit like I went more into my, when I get like very anxious and I just go silent and just like listen and listen and listen, and I don't impose. So I caught myself a couple of times being like, you haven't said anything in like 3 minutes. You need to say something, but also it's so intimidating. Thankfully, that other dude was like leading the conversation, but I couldn't hear him because he was so loud in there, and I felt so awkward. But yeah, look, I think we talked for like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. And eventually the conversation was just sort of like dying down slowly. And we sort of like all went out. We were like, thanks for the chat, see you around. And we all went our separate way. The two girls were actually together, friends, and that dude was on his own. And yeah, so it felt nice. I was like, okay, I feel like I've done the hardest. But then I was like, fuck, how do I? It's like basically everybody is already talking. And so, I mean, a lot of people are already talking, not everybody. But, and so it's hard to go and be like, I don't know, interrupt and crash the conversation. That's how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm just going to be interrupting. Which is not something I like to do at all. And I don't really know. It's like, how do I go into a conversation and then be part of it without completely interrupting? And yeah, that's the kind of thing that goes through my head. But there was a table that was a bit like on the outside of the room. It was a bit more quiet, and there was two girls at that table, and I just went, hello, I'm Matt, can I crash the conversation? Feeling a lot more confident because of the conversation I had before. Turns out that group of two was actually a group of four, but two of them were wandering around. But yeah, they're very lovely girls as well. Had a good chat. They were probably more my age. And yeah, and then one of the girls that came back was actually a very lively. She was just like very funny girl. She made it very easy to have a conversation, and I ended up spending pretty much the whole night with those four girls. We did wander around a couple of times. I went with two of them, walking around the room, seeing if I could help them get a guy and if they could help me get a girl. Unsuccessfully though. But we had a really good chat and a good laugh. Yeah. Eventually I went back. I went to see that first girl again. Had a bit of a chat, bought her a drink, asked for a number, which she didn't want to give away. I mean, she was happy to give it away, but just in a friendship situation, which is not what I'm after. So I politely declined. I said thank you for the honesty. But yeah, and then I think I asked another girl as well, and saying she was like, yep, just in a friendship way though. And I'm like, nah, sorry, it's not what I'm after. And maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. Maybe this is what girls say, but maybe I need to learn much more. We'll see. I don't know. But at the end of the night, I was a bit disappointed of how it ended. It seemed like between 9:45 and 10, everybody just left, just out of the blue. They cut the music, they turned the lights on. It was just like, what? And then turned around and everybody was gone. Well, large majority of the people were gone, and I was just like, damn. Okay, that's how it goes. So part of me is quite proud because I went way out of my comfort zone a lot, and but part of me is also like this. I only talked to a group of two girls and then a group of four girls, so I feel like I've talked to two people, but sort of two people in 3 hours. And I don't know, maybe I should have been more like going around and around, but I like to connect. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll go again. I don't know if I'll do things differently if I do go again. At least I'm a little bit more experienced now. Ooh. Tired, big weekend. But yeah, look. I did it. I tried. On the Friday, I ended up being a little bit hangover because I was so nervous that I was drinking very quick on Thursday. So I probably had like six pints in 3 hours, which is a lot for me. And so yeah, I was a little bit little bit dusty on the Friday. Did not go for a drive. Spent pretty much the whole day in the couch watching TV. Didn't go to the gym. I did. I went for a drive later in the afternoon once I felt better, and a little bit in the evening just to make some cash, which was good. Made good money, and yeah, that was it. Really went to bed at 12 o'clock, I think. I had a big day then at work on Saturday. So on the Friday I wasn't feeling too good, but I knew that it was because of the alcohol. So I was trying to not be too hard on myself. Like obviously alcohol being a depressant, the next day you don't feel good. So I was trying to be to how do you say? Yeah, to not feel sorry for myself because I drank and this is what happened, and I know I will be better on Saturday. That's pretty much how I went. On the Saturday, I went to work and worked all day, which was fine. It was a decent shift, felt pretty good in my head. Then drove in the evening. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did. And then on the Sunday morning I drove as well before going to my shift. And then I finished early and I went home and I was just not feeling it. I was meant to like go for a drive, but it was very quiet, so I went home and I was meant to do heaps of admin because I had a lot of time, clean the house, whatever. And then I just started watching TV and I just watched 5 hours of TV. Spent some time on my phone. And I think the problem is not watching TV or being on my phone. I think the problem is that I told myself that I would do all these things and then I didn't. And that's why I was feeling pretty shit. And especially today. So today's Monday. I woke up and I was just like not happy with myself. Didn't want to go to the gym because I felt guilty of whatever. I don't know what. And I was as if almost it's like I didn't deserve to go to the gym. I woke up and I was like, no. And again, went on my phone and watched TV, which is silly. Then went to work and was not in a good mood. I think the good thing is I knew about it and I tried to, not. I reflected a little bit and I was just like, yeah, well, no wonder why you feel like shit because you haven't done anything. And I'm someone that feels good when I'm very productive, when I feel like I have purpose. So I was telling myself it's normal that you feel like shit because you haven't followed what you said you would do. So I was trying not to be too hard again on myself. Consciously. Subconsciously, I think I was very disappointed with my behavior for the past 24 hours. But consciously, I was like, it's okay, you've done it. It's in the past now. There's literally nothing I can do about it. And beating myself up is not going to help whatsoever. So I try to stay positive and have a good shift and, work hard, etc. I came when I finished, it was a pretty average shift as well. We were very understaffed. So when I came home today, I started being a little bit lazy again. Then I was like, nah, I need to snap out of it. So I did snap out of it and I ended up being productive, do the admin things that I wanted to do. I've done that now, and now I'm recording the podcast. So I feel like I'm being productive and I've got a purpose again, which is good. And that helps. And when I'm saying all these things like that I'm lazy and whatever, blah blah blah, the problem is not that I watch TV, that I watch 5 hours of Netflix. Nothing wrong with that if it's every now and then or even whatever. The problem is really that I had other things in mind. So there's nothing wrong with scrolling on your phone if in the diary on your schedule or your calendar you go, do you know what? Saturday night at 8 p.m. is my phone time. That's fine, because that's what you wanted to do and you've scheduled for it. But originally I had scheduled Sunday, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do my admin and I'm going to do that and whatever and blah blah blah, and I didn't do any of it. And I think this is what got to me. I didn't eat good healthy food in a couple of days, probably since Thursday, to be fair. Yeah, and I think that plays a lot on my mind, on how I feel and my dopamine level and serotonin and all those chemicals. Yeah, I think that's why it's like I need to eat something healthy tonight and tomorrow and get back into the routine, because otherwise it's just not good. But look, it's done. It's in the past. Hopefully next time this sort of situation happens, I can find a will to stay disciplined, and just so I don't have those big dip, which are normal, but they really affect me a lot. I think also, so on Thursday night, one of the group of four, one of the 4 girls, we exchanged Instagram because she said she had a friend that would be a perfect match or whatever, and she would introduce us or whatever. Then we exchanged a couple of texts on Friday, and then on Saturday she was like, oh yeah, I'm seeing, I think Maddie, her name is, today. She was like, I'll organize something or something. And I haven't heard anything since. And there's a part of me that goes, oh, so I made all these efforts to get out of my comfort zone, to put myself out there, and there's no result. Once again, someone told me they will do something and they haven't. And I've noticed it, that I was just like, very down because of this. Almost as if I need to remind myself that it's not about, this is me focusing on the outcome. And it's not about this, it's about focusing on the fact that I went out of my comfort zone, that I was honest when people asked me things, what I wanted, what I needed, who I was. That it's almost like if I just planted a seed in a plant pot on Thursday, and Saturday I'm disappointed that the plant hasn't grown. It's like it doesn't work this way, and I know it. I can talk about it very openly, but subconsciously I'm like, oh, I did all these efforts and for nothing, and So I guess there's still a lot of progress to make like this, but it's like it's repetition. So it's like the gym. It's not going to be perfect straight away, but all I need is keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. So I guess I do need to put myself out there again until I don't care about the outcome at all. And the only thing I like is putting myself out there. Maybe that's the change of outcome of mindset that I need to have. Yeah. Gotta stay patient. Gotta stay patient with me and trust that I'm on the right path. And look, on the things that I look up to, Mom's coming back tomorrow for 3 days, 2 nights. So it'll be good to see her again. I'm catching up with some friends on Saturday for lunch and other friends on dinner. This other friend at dinner I have not seen since July last year when I went on holidays, which is nuts when I think of it. Time flies. So I'm really excited about this and catching up. Friday night I have dinner with my friend that I see every 2 or 3 weeks, but they were away, so I haven't seen them since early December. And by the time I see them, so that'll be almost 2 months, because it'll be the 31st when I see them. So yeah, like 7 weeks. So I'm excited to see these people again and have some quality time and talk shit, talk serious, like all that jazz. Yeah, these are the things I'm looking forward to this week. And then there's one other thing I wanted to touch base on. Is like, I feel like I've had not a business idea, but I've had this idea that I wanted to put on my Instagram the ask me anything anonymously. Not because I want people to ask me things, I don't care about that, but I wanted to give people an opportunity to vent, tell their frustration, whatever it's on their mind, and they don't know who to talk to, or they're ashamed to talk to a friend, or they don't have friends, or it's too complicated, or whatever. They could put it up there just to vent it out, and then I would, assuming that it stays anonymous and we don't know who this is about, I would then post it on my story so people would realize that they're not alone. You know, someone might say, "Oh, I'm so tired of working and I hated Christmas and all I want to do is do nothing," and they just vent, and then I share that story without the name, etc., because I won't know who it is anyway. And by doing this, someone else who feels the same way would see it and feel better about themselves, being like, "Oh, I'm not alone." And a little bit like what I'm doing with this podcast, where I share my thoughts and how I feel, my ups and my downs, because statistically, at least one of you, is going to feel the same way. And knowing that we're not alone is very helpful. So I was going to do this, but it was a long weekend here, so I didn't want to do it on a Sunday night. Maybe I'll do it now. Who knows? But then I thought, oh, maybe I could create a page that's called, I don't know, venting for free or whatever. And then every day people could follow, and every day I would put that link, that ask me anything anonymously. I would put that link, and it would be a space for people to take things out of their shoulders anonymously. And yeah, and it's not for me, it's not about me replying or giving them advice, but just get it out of your chest. And if it's something that's like shareable, again, I could share what people have said, I've replied, I've vented about, just so they know that they're not alone. But I need to find a good name. I don't know, I feel like maybe I'll try just on my page first, and depending on the results on what comes in, I'll try maybe a page, an anonymous page, anonymous venting. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see in a week time if I still think that's a good idea as well. Maybe it won't be. Maybe I'll have even more convictions now. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, bigger thing was last week was getting out of my comfort zone, which I'm really proud of. My highlights were also catching up with friends Monday, Wednesday, and have some quality time, good conversation with them. And this week I'm looking forward to catching up with more friends, seeing my mum, and yeah, hopefully I've managed to make some money in the middle between all that as well. because there's a lot of expenses. I think I've been a little bit anxious because I've got a fair amount of expenses in February coming up, and I've got money, but because I haven't laid it out, I don't know how much in the clear I am. I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear, but I don't know about how much, and this is what stresses me out. So I need to put it down in writing and lay it out how much I need to pay. And yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that was my week. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you got something out of this conversation. I'm just talking alone. But yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, and sometimes try to be critical, not about what you do, but so see, my example of it's not because I was on the TV that I was not happy with myself. It's because I said I would do other things. So I guess if you need some downtime and some me time, try to schedule it in. That's probably a better solution. I'll try to implement that as well in my life. So thanks for watching. I'm doing this for me, but I hope it can help you. See you next week.